Hi guys, how are you doing today? Hope you are having a sunny and drama-free day. Ready for some new stories I have for you? Let's go to the first one, which is an update to the story about OP's ex-husband's affair partner who demanded OP be a bridesmaid at their wedding. I know you've been waiting for this update. Please check the description box below to find the link to the original story if you haven't heard it yet. Also, listen to the end of the story, guys, to find out all the details and of course to hear my insights. Enjoy the stories, and don't forget to like and subscribe. And of course, don't forget to leave a comment. So I texted Tom today. Due to Tammy's mental state, I prefer if he or his mom would do all the pickups from now on. And if Tammy's mental health gets any worse, I want the girls full-time for a couple of weeks, till it's a healthier environment for the kids. Tom tried to call me, but I texted him I prefer texts, and he said he wanted to have a heart-to-heart. Yeah, not gonna happen. I asked if it involved the girls. He said yes, but it's also about all of us going forward and the relationship he wishes for us to have. Basically, he wanted family therapy with himself, me, Tammy, and the kids. I said if he thinks the kids need to see a therapist, I would be happy to find one we both can agree on. But again, he just kept bringing it back to us. So after a few hours, knowing it was going nowhere, I just left him on red. I called my ex-in-laws and told them the situation, and how I don't want to be involved with anything Tammy and Tom, unless my kids are involved. I reminded them I've expressed multiple times I don't care, and I don't want anything more than a civil co-parent relationship. I told them even though I value my relationship with the family, ex-in-laws, I will go low contact if it happens again. Mother-in-law apologized, saying she was very emotional because at the end of the day, Tom is her son, and he was heartbroken, plus the baby was her grandchild, which I completely understand and I forgave her. Now, here's where it gets weird. Tammy showed up to my house. Now, I've watched enough true crime to know not to open the door, and I talked and recorded her by the doorbell cam. She was crying, saying she was sorry and she just wanted to be my friend. Then she said I need to forgive her because she lost her baby as karma for what she did to me. She was saying other stuff, but I couldn't understand her. I rang the police, then my brother and Tom. She didn't get arrested or anything. But Tom talked to my brother and said he was taking her home and agreed it's best if I have them full-time for now. My girls are at home safe. My brother will be staying with me for the foreseeable future. I'll be seeing a lawyer first thing Monday about full custody and a restraining order because I've a sinking feeling it's gonna get worse. Before it gets brought up, I just kept telling Tammy leave my property because I don't want to hear it. I don't know why I was brought into this because I was looking forward to my chill weekend. I'd like to also say for the people in the last post calling me jealous, bitter, I've nothing to be jealous of. Someone who cheats on you isn't a prize. He is Tammy's problem now. And for those of you saying my saying, I don't care about my ex's life, means I'm not over him because I don't want to be friends with him or Tammy. Your ex moved on. When they say leave them alone, they're not playing hard to get. They really don't want to talk to you. That's just weird. Why she honestly seems to think that OP and her could be friends. Like, what is wrong with her? First, she threatens to steal OP's husband. Then she steals OP's husband. And then she cries, "Why won't you be my BFF?" Something is seriously wrong with that woman. OP really needs to stay away from her. And now let's hear the community's opinion. Blubberducker69 says, I absolutely agree with you. The fact that she keeps trying to force herself on you to make herself look better is honestly appalling. You're handling this situation with so much more grace than I probably could. I3XG says, hopefully Tommy gets Tammy the help she needs, and they both leave you alone. They both seem to think if you befriend them, then what they did wasn't horrible, i.e. the cheating. You don't need to make them feel better, and hopefully with therapy they realize how bad it is and how harmful it is to you and the kids. The True Cray says, I hope it gets better for you, but as you said, and I agree with you, it's going to get worse. I don't understand what it is that people want you to do. He cheated, left, and both of you moved on. Why should you care about his life? If it doesn't involve your children, it doesn't involve you. Your happiness trumps whatever he's got going on in his life. I started dating my wife Anna in middle school. We've been friends, classmates, roommates, everything to each other. And given our long history, she's obviously very close to my family. My dad is the oldest of 3 siblings. I'm one of 3 brothers. My uncle has 2 girls, and my aunt has 1 girl. Obviously, growing up, my female cousins had no elder sister-type family to look up to. Then, Anna started coming to my home for dates. Our parents wouldn't let 13-year-olds go out. And eventually my brothers, and especially my cousins, got very close to her. Anna was the elder sister they all wanted, and Anna has over the years spent a lot of time with them, helping them navigate being a girl, their words, and with other girly stuff. She's also been very close to my brothers. Basically, Anna has had years to become a very special and important member of my family. She even had my cousins as her bridesmaids at our wedding 3 years ago. Recently, my brother Blake proposed to his girlfriend of 2 years, Laura. They've started planning the wedding, and Laura started complaining that our family doesn't love or care about her and Blake because we weren't making an effort. She wants my cousins to be bridesmaids, help plan and organize the wedding, was hoping we'd throw her a bachelorette party, etc. Basically all things she knows they did for Anna. And so far, no one has shown any interest in doing anything. Frankly, we don't know Laura very well. She lived in another state, and it was mostly Blake visiting her all these years. Also, Laura doesn't share the same interests as Anna and my cousins, and often rejected their offers to hang out. She's not very family-oriented either, has said she feels uncomfortable during family gatherings, whereas Anna has always been the helper and is generally very friendly. So understandably, my family is treating this wedding as any other wedding. Everyone congratulated them, has RSVP'd, yes, are willing to buy gifts that they want, and not much else. And Laura is very angry about that. She is saying that she feels unwelcomed. She was openly complaining and making everyone uncomfortable, so I stopped her and said she cannot compare Anna's role in my family to her role as the situations are very different. I don't know why she took it to mean I'm saying she's less worthy than Anna. She got mad and called me an a-hole and Anna a pretentious B before leaving. Everyone was on my side, but Blake has told me he was a bit angry with me. Laura has been giving him a hard time over not defending her. Anna is very upset. I can't help think I shouldn't have said anything and just ignore the tension like everyone else. I just don't know how to think. Am I the a-hole? The fact that Laura called OP an a-hole and Anna a pretentious B really speaks volumes and tells us everything we need to know about Laura's people skills. She can't just come crashing in and expect a relationship OP's wife has spent years cultivating to be put in her lap because she is marrying OP's brother. Nobody is treating her unkindly. They are just treating her as Blake's fiancé they don't know too well. So I'm not sure what she's thinking. She cannot expect everyone to start treating their wedding as the most important thing in the world. And now let's hear the community's opinion. Fried Onion Scent says, not everyone meets their significant other in middle school. Obviously, Anna has had much more time to bond with the family during formative years. I'm not sure why Laura declined invitations. If you want to create a relationship with people, you have to make the time. There's really no other way. So that's one thing. Then there's the fact that she's assuming the cousins, etc., that she barely knows, will want to plan and organize the wedding and bachelorette party. That's a big assumption. Doesn't she have her own friends and family? It's usually something people close to the bride help organize. You're not the a-hole in my opinion, unless there's missing info and you and Anna actually do enjoy keeping her out of the clique. Archetyping 101 says, not the a-hole. Laura seems to have no friends. The groom's family does not traditionally plan the bachelorette or the wedding. In fact, that's what her best friends are for. As for wedding planning, that's between her and your brother, aka her fiancé. Also, someone can't enter a family after dating for merely 2 years and expect the same relationship as someone who's been around for significantly longer and grew up essentially as family. That's just stupid to expect that. My son, 5, has a babysitter, 20, that picks him up from school every day, takes him to soccer, tutoring, swim, etc., then takes him home and does homework until we get home. We were grocery shopping, and my son picked up a box of Capri Sun and asked if he could have it because it was his favorite. I asked him where he was getting it from, and he said his babysitter has bins full of snacks in her car, and he gets to pick out whatever he wants when she picks him up from school or practice. I had him point out whatever else his babysitter was giving him, and it was almost all processed crap. She's been giving him chocolate granola bars, fruit snacks, bags of chips, goldfish, and applesauce. I texted the babysitter and asked her about this, and she said that my son is always hungry after school and practice, and this is easier than stopping to buy him a snack. I told her I don't want her to give him her snacks anymore, and she said she'd be happy to do that if I pack an after-school snack and send it to school with him, because she doesn't have time to take him home and grab him a snack before his activities. I told her it would only be a couple hours and she can just have him wait until they get home. But she said she will not be working with a hangry 5-year-old for 2 to 4 hours. So I can pack a snack, she could give him a snack, or she could quit. I told my husband about this, and he said it's fine. It's not like he eats much better at our house. He gets a lot of these things as an occasional treat, and that none of what she gives him is that bad. I told him I expect more for how much we pay her. She gets $25 an hour, but he still says she's doing nothing wrong. He even texted the babysitter saying to ignore me, she's doing fine, and to send him the receipts for the snacks so he could reimburse her. Am I the a-hole for not wanting her to feed my son crap every day? Well, if OP doesn't want her son to eat the crap the babysitter is giving him, she needs to pack him a healthy snack herself. Saying that he can wait is not an option. I honestly don't understand how OP expects her 5-year-old to engage in physical activity while hungry. The babysitter is right in this situation. OP just sounds lazy. And now let's hear the community's opinion. Competitive Delay 865 says, "You're the a-hole. She gave you the options. Either pack him a snack, lose her as a babysitter, or let her give him snacks that you yourself give your child." Stacy B125 says, "You're the a-hole. Not only are you not providing snacks for your kid, you are pissed off that the person you hired is using her money to feed your hungry kid. Do you even remember what it was like after school? I was starving every single day, and that doesn't even consider the athletic component here. You're asking a kid to spend energy doing sports without any additional calories to support it. You're the a-hole. Stop being so lazy and stubborn. Pack your son a snack. The sitter is meeting his needs. Even your husband understands. Mind blown. Listen to those around you. The answer is not to start denying his basic needs." Casey Baby says, "You're the a-hole for communicating the issue and then forcing the babysitter to solve it herself. She gave you an incredibly clear solution. Want to make sure your kid eats the right snacks? Pack them yourself. Seriously, how hard would it be to buy some parent-approved snacks, give them to your babysitter, and say, 'Keep these in your car instead, please'?" My wife passed away just before last Thanksgiving. It came out of nowhere, and I'm somewhat broken. To make it worse, my stepkids have decided that since I'm not their father, they don't have to obey me anymore. They are teens, and they have never been my biggest fans. They love their dad, and I was only ever their mom's husband. However, when Dina was alive, they treated our home well and me with respect. After she died, they became a-holes. Yes, I know their mom died. It sucks. But that was my wife and the mother of my children. I'm also having a tough time dealing. Their parental grandparents are also crapping on me for not being more understanding of all they are going through. I've tried. I've offered them counseling. I've given them space. I've been there for them. I'm at my wit's end. The last straw was when we were over there for supper last week. I said it was time to go so I could get the littles to bed. My stepkids said that they didn't want to go and that I should leave them and come back for them. It's a 2-hour drive. I said no. Their grandparents said I was being too hard on them and that I should let them stay. I'm having a hard time with 2 small children, the loss of my wife, and 2 teen a-holes without having my in-laws pile on to make my life more difficult. So I did. I also packed up their stuff. Instead of coming back for them, I dropped off their stuff at their grandparents' house. I have 2 kids under 5 to take care of. I don't really have time to baby 2 teens that are just making my life harder. My house is clean for the first time in weeks. My kids are sleeping through the night. My stepkids are living with their uncle in the same city as me so they can finish high school with their friends. Everyone on their dad's side is against me. I really don't care. I was told by both of them and their father that I am not to try and parent them. So I'm not. I actually do not have any parental rights over them. Their dad was not even okay with me being a contact for them at school, so his parents bear the contact. My wife left behind a small life insurance policy which I will divide between the 4 kids. But I was the breadwinner in my house. I bought pretty much everything there for the last 8 years, so now it's all mine. My in-laws are calling me an a-hole for abandoning the kids, but I have 2 kids that need me more. The older 2 have a dad as well as grandparents to help them. My kids do too, I guess, but they also have me, and I want them to have a peaceful home. Girl with a green stare says, "I'm probably going to be the minority, but I think not the a-hole. They have lost their mom, absolutely right. So you would expect trouble and acting up, etc. But what I don't understand is why their dad is not swooped in. If you were such a hindrance, where is he? As long as everyone is happy, including all kids and yourself. I wouldn't fret about anything, as I cannot see what you have done wrong here. You haven't left them on the streets. You've left them with family, and they're happy. If Daddy is so worried, he can step in, can't he? OG Big Boob says, not the a-hole. If what you say is true, and you've done everything within your power to help them grieve and transition going forward without their mom, then what else can you do? It sucks the other two kids losing that day-to-day contact with their siblings, but it may be better for all involved, especially if the teens hold contempt for the little ones. If the father wasn't willing to step up right away, then that says a lot about the dad and the in-laws, in my opinion. Wash your hands of that family, as they will only try to harm you going forward. Chemical Rose says, not the a-hole. Why are you looking after children who you have no parental rights over and who hate you? What the hell happens if you need to give medical consent for something? They're acting out, but they have a living parent and grandparents who can step up and look after them. Though, as they're now living with their uncle, it looks like the conflict was about them not wanting to do this, but also not supporting you in doing this. My mom died when I, 28 male, was 18. Mom had been sick for a number of years after an accident caused by TBI and some other medical problems. My dad was her carer for several years, and I know he struggled a lot toward the end where Mom was gone. Their marriage was also a complicated one prior to the TBI and other medical needs Mom developed. So when Dad was back out dating and remarried a little over a year later, it didn't come as too much of a surprise. Though it was difficult to see him with someone else, and to see him far happier than I ever remember him being with Mom, even before she fell ill. His wife is Janet. She's someone who never had kids of her own, and I know she's had some struggles adjusting to being with a guy who is a dad, mostly with what her place is in the lives of my siblings, 30 male and 32 female, and I. She thought she was going to be sort of a de facto parental figure. My sister spoke to her, and they have become closer over the years. My brother and I aren't close to Janet, and I don't particularly see her as a member of my family, though I accept she's my dad's spouse and it is his family now. But I don't really see us having an independent relationship. It's entirely dependent on my dad and her being married and nothing else. This is why I'm not comfortable with having some highlighted dance with her at my wedding. But when she learned I was doing one with my Nana, Mom's mom, she said it would feel like a big slight to not have the chance to dance with me in the same way. She said she's my maternal figure and female head of the household, and that she is the future grandmother of my grandchildren. My dad told me it would mean a lot to him to see me embrace Janet as my family and to give her this dance. He said it breaks his heart to think I would abandon her if they died or were no longer married. My brother said it was ridiculous, but my sister asked me if there was any way I could do it, even just a 90-second song-length dance with her. She said it's hard to picture Janet as the grandmother of my kids and stuff, and it was for her too. But her kids have benefited from being allowed to have that relationship with Janet, and I should consider that for my future children too. She said in her heart, Janet isn't a real grandparent to them, and she doesn't love her either. But her kids feel differently, and that matters to her. I told my sister I would consider it, but I made no promises and still didn't want the dance. After all that, Janet told me the fact that I hadn't agreed yet was starting to tell her that I don't care about her feelings, and she wanted me to know that it was unfair. She told me she feels like she's just Dad's +1 for the wedding, and that her presence isn't important or wanted at all, and it's not a nice feeling to have. My fiancé thinks I should stick to my decision of no and follow my heart, which also says no. But I can see my dad isn't happy about it either, and Janet clearly isn't. Am I the a-hole? Artistic Son 1825 says, not the a-hole. A pity dance isn't going to change who she is to you. It's icky that she thinks marrying your dad means she replaces your mom as the maternal figure. Weren't you all adults already when they married? And it sounds like if you gave her an inch, she'll take a mile and expect to have the same relationship with your kids as with your sister's kids, and you and your fiancé haven't decided that yet. Internal Progress 404 says, there is no fair when it comes to someone's place at your wedding, because your wedding is not about them. It's not the place for demonstrating who you consider family and how. It's about you and your fiancé and your life together. Unicorn Utopiac says, not the a-hole. Your wedding is about you and your fiancé's preferences and comfort. While compromise is integral in families, it shouldn't come at the cost of your own sentimentality on such a personal day. Acknowledging Janet's role in your dad's life doesn't necessarily entail a highlighted dance. There might be other ways to make her feel included without compromising your boundaries. It's important to have a day that reflects you and your fiancé's journey together, without undue stress and discomfort.